Welcome back to the Deep Six Wrestling Podcast. It is 12:30 in the morning. It's now Sunday, August 22nd, which means we're here for our post-Summerslam show. We're reviewing SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. It was up, but now it's down. We're here in the downtime after SummerSlam, and we're going to talk about it. So if you're new to the podcast, be sure to subscribe on any streaming service that we're on. Spotify, Google, Apple, Anchor, Stitcher, Overcast, Breaker. We're on a bunch of them. I think there's something called Altail. What? Anyway, we're going to talk about SummerSlam. We'll see how long this podcast goes. This was a long fucking show. But be sure to subscribe to our podcast. It's free if you're on Apple. Leave a rating. Follow us over on Twitter at Deep Six Wrestling without the G. And also feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is also just the Deep Six Wrestling Podcast. So you can check that out because I will have to be making a punishment video because I lost our predictions, unfortunately. So I will be doing a DIY crafting video of making Alexa Bliss's Lily doll, or at least the best version I can. That's going to be awful. I don't know how to sew.
Maybe you're talking.
Hey man, you're the one that wanted to vote for it and come up with it.
We'll
That's
see.
why I didn't vote for it because I'm not creative.
Yeah. Well, joining me, I'm Pat, and joining me we have two people tonight. It's the normal crew.
The Raw crew, baby.
It's the Raw crew. We could have had everybody here. Well, not everybody. We had Jake was over, Sam was over, Rob was over, but this show went this show went too late for anybody to stick around. So that was that. I missed the opening match of the pre-show. We'll just get right into this. I missed the pre-show match because I was trying to fix our garbage disposal. Handyman Pat over here, so I'll let Ryan and Joey talk about this. But the opening match was Big E versus Baron Corbin with absolutely nothing on the line. But from what my understanding is, Baron Corbin is now in possession of the Money in the Bank briefcase. So without further ado, you guys can talk about this to whatever your heart desire is.
So, Big E comes out and he gets a very loud ovation. Crowd loves him. He's high-fiving and hugging everybody as he walks on down the line. Then Corbin comes out and he has no entrance music, apparently. Okay. So it's just silence as he comes out. And there's some cheers, there's some boos, and he's just cradling, or I should say clutching, the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's his precious. All the while he has this huge ass brown stain on his white shirt, which looks absolutely disgusting. And I know we talked about it as a group tonight, and they're like, oh well, who can say Baron Corbin was ever their favorite wrestler? Nobody should be saddled with this gimmick. Corbin, he's a great heel. This is a horrible gimmick. I don't get what the point of it is. I feel sorry for him, but at the same time, he just looks like a mess of a person. And it's stupid. He gets a lot of offense in during this match. He does hit the deep six, which looked really good on a bigger guy like Big E. Big E gang him up. Big E ends up winning. There wasn't anything real special here in this match, other than Big E's big ending looked absolutely atrocious, hitting it on Baron Corbin because Corbin couldn't keep his legs up, so his legs looked like they were touching the ground when he hit it. It just looked stupid. And then Big E found the briefcase on the ground, licked his lips a bit, rubbed his chest, and then picked it up, and the crowd went crazy for it. Joey, you got anything else you want to add?
All I have to say on this match is I think Big E deserves better and shouldn't be on the pre-show. That's it.
That's fair. I'd say that for Corbin as well. I like Corbin a lot. He's been one of my guys. You can say I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but he was one of my favorite heels. And I just feel like they dropped the ball on him so many times.
Yeah. The issue with this gimmick of Baron Corbin is we're supposed to feel bad for this guy, but he's clearly employed and making a shit ton of money with WWE. More money than I'll ever probably see. So why should I have any kind of sympathy for this guy? When he's like, makes triple of what I make. So, I mean, hey, you can go on TV and wear, like a really gross shirt with a mustard stain on it, and why not? But he's making all that money, and that's not how he actually dresses in real life, so. And he's not homeless, and he doesn't need the money and all that stuff, so.
That's fair.
Anyways, oh boy.
Also, they announced this match 30 minutes ago.
They did. They announced this match like 30 minutes into the pre-show, and then they just did it. So you love to see it. Oh boy. Anyway, moving on from there, we'll talk about the main show. To open the show, they had a video package that was themed to gambling in Las Vegas. And then we went into our opening match, which was for the Raw Tag Team Championship. It was AJ Styles and Omos defending against RK Bro. I'm going to be honest, I expected more from this. I don't know. I like RK Bro as a tag team. AJ is AJ Styles, and Omos exists. Not trying to shit all over the guy. It's more about the company putting him in this position, but he just doesn't do anything special. He's just a tall guy who looks tall. I don't even have anything to say about this. It was a fine opening. This wasn't anything special. Randy won with an RKO. And
a really average RKO.
Yeah, he hit it on AJ, so AJ's pinned. So RK Bro are officially the tag team champions. Thoughts?
It makes the most sense. Because I feel like AJ and Omos had run their course through the Raw Tag Division because the tag divisions are so bad. Like they'd be in the New Day, they'd be in the Viking Raiders. It was just RK Bro left. So if they beat them, it's like, oh, who do we face? And if they keep on pushing this draft further and further away, like I don't need 2 months of AJ and Omos like just beating the teams they've already beaten. I think that I'm gonna say it again. I like Omos, but I think he's got the same situation that Braun had when Braun first came to the main roster with the Wyatts. Is that he's green as fuck. He never he didn't have like the NXT experience, and they were just like, here you go, big guy, push you right to the top of a division right away. And I feel like that doesn't work out well. The only person that I can think of since NXT's been a thing that's been really good on the main roster without going to NXT is AJ, but that's because he was a 20-year pro already.
He was AJ Styles.
Yeah, but the other people I can think of that are okay, they skipped NXT altogether since NXT's been a thing are Braun, Omos, and Mike Kanellis.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
And I mean, Braun had after a reset of Braun, after a year, he got better. He wasn't great, but he got better than what he was. And I feel like Omos needs that.
Yeah, that's fair. Again, I don't have anything against Omos the person or anything, but it's just he literally at this point is a champion because he's a tall guy. It's not like he's blowing anybody away in the ring or anything. He's there. I wouldn't even say it's passable. He just does a couple big spots, but he doesn't do it. It's literally AJ's the team, and Omos hits a few big moves, and that's it. And for me, that's just not enough reason to be a champion. So I don't get it. Joey, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I think from the start, I kind of questioned why they even won the tag team titles or why they're even a team. I feel like AJ Styles doesn't need a bodyguard or someone just to follow him around. I feel like because AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers in the world and of all time. But I don't know. I think it was just a weird pairing, and I don't really know why they won the titles in the first place. But I think it was the match was okay, I guess. Yeah, the match wasn't like terrible. But I would say that the booking decision to have them drop the titles was probably for the best, and I think they definitely went the right direction because it's clear that people like RK Bro, so they finally gave fans what they wanted. So I guess that's positive.
Okay.
There's one more person I totally forgot about. Commander Aziz never had a televised match
In NXT?
in NXT as Baba Tunde or anything. He just did the live event things and was a manager for Leo Rush on NXT. So yeah, 4 people.
4 people.
And none of them really had a.
What is that? Moving on, we went to everybody's favorite match of the night: Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. We got a recap of all the things Lily has done. I don't recall ever seeing the one where she sat up off the ground.
Yeah.
Is that what we were watching before?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I guess it was before.
Or it was during the 2 weeks we didn't watch.
Yeah, maybe. But apparently Alexa Bliss's doll sat up one day. So that's fun. Oh my god, I can't believe this was on fucking pay-per-view. Eva Marie comes out with Dewdrop.
No reaction.
No reaction. They're just there. Alexa Bliss comes out and gets cheered.
Because she's a babyface.
Wonderful. Eva's kind of in control for a bit here, and then eventually goes and takes Lily and slaps her across the face a few times, and then slaps Alexa with the doll. Alexa then powers up and screams at her to scare her, does a Luthez press. Dude, I don't fucking know. Why was this a match? Why was this a wrestling match? Why was this on the show? This was disgusting. Alexa went for Twisted Bliss and Eva dodged it, but eventually Alexa took her down with the random DDT finisher, and that was that. And then post-match, Dewdrop gets on the mic and says, "And your loser is Eva Marie!" And then she takes Eva's robe and models it and walks away. And that was the end of the match. This was live on pay-per-view. This is one of WWE's biggest shows of the year. Bigger than WrestleMania. And this needed to be on the card. Awful. Absolutely atrocious. Disgusting that this was on the pay-per-view.
It wasn't good. It was never going to be good. There were chants for "We Want Wyatt." I'm 99% sure there were chants for "We Want Dewdrop," or just Dewdrop chants. She got a pop after turning on Eva, and that was pointless. Also, Alexa Bliss's theme still makes me want to puke. It's bad. I don't know where Alexa goes from this, other than she's going to go for the world title, or the women's title. And she's probably going to beat Charlotte Flair for it, because Charlotte loves having quick reigns so that then she can get another one back.
Okay, I don't think that's Charlotte's decision. But
No, but that's their booking.
Yeah,
that's
but don't say you will.
Okay.
Change it.
The writers and the producers love giving Charlotte really short reigns, so Charlotte can just rack up these wins real quick.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Joey, what are your thoughts on Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss?
Oh my god. There's not many, there's really nothing you can really say about this. It was just, flat out bad. There was really no redeeming things to this. Personally, in my opinion, I would say that this not just this match, but this whole entire storyline and character arc for Alexa Bliss has taken the women's evolution and basically put it back to the Stone Age. If you look 2017, 2018, when the women evolution was really starting, right? I believe that's the timeline. And how serious women's wrestling started to get, and then you have this, and it's what the hell is this? It's attitude era type stuff, but even worse. The positive part is they're not being over sexualized. That's a positive, but besides that, this is just bad, and this does not help women's wrestling or wrestling in general, honestly. And this is just one of the weaker things about WWE and their booking and their creative aspect. So I would say, honestly, this was probably I'll say it right now, this was definitely the worst match of the night. I literally, this was definitely the worst match of the night.
Okay, well, Ryan's shaking his head no, but we'll get to that. So, Ryan, don't say it now. Whatever your worst match was, you can say that.
Can I just say one more thing about...
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't say that Alexa, like, the booking of Alexa was, like, the downfall of the women's evolution, or, like, a down note in it. I feel like that's been the situation for a bit now, where, like, for a time after Mania, or in the lead up to, after Mania, that the women's segments were averaging about 2 to 5 minutes on their weekly shows.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely.
And, like, that's not just Alexa, that was just, like, all the women.
Yeah.
And considering they have 3 different titles at this point for the women on the main rosters, that just shows just how low their division is when they don't have certain people.
Yeah.
A la Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky, that they just don't know what to do with the women's division. And also the fact that they have a tag division that they act like doesn't exist at points.
That's fair. Well, then I would rephrase it and say that Alexa's gimmick is pretty much like kind of like the nail in the coffin. Then, like, it wasn't her. Obviously, it wasn't her fault. I mean, obviously, none of this stuff is
the talent.
Is the talent's fault. I mean,
then even right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, sometimes talent have some kind of creative control and they have ideas.
But they're not booking the show.
No.
But they're not booking the show, no. And, like, I can understand, like, with Nikki ASH's character, this was, like, her idea and stuff. So, like, again, like, they're not booking the show, but, like, in some situations it could be a fault for just having the idea, cause, like, you know, not a fault, but, like, if it's bad, it's bad, you know, like, yeah, it's cool that, you know, they get to carry out their own dreams and stuff, but, like, when you have an audience and you have people, you know, watching your show, and, like, you're gonna have to take, like, criticism, like, regardless, like, you know what I mean, it just is what it is. It happens in every sport or, you know, entertainment aspect, like, so, I don't know, this match was bad, and, I will stand by it being the worst.
It's really tough. There was another very bad match on the show. I
There
don't
were
know.
a few.
I don't know what I want to pick. I've obviously some people would just straight up pick Bianca and Becky because of
See, I
being
wouldn't even
upset.
count that.
But
as
exactly,
I know.
that was-
I mean, technically it's a match, but like
I'm upset
26
by it.
seconds, you really can't judge anything.
I'm upset with the booking of that, but at the same time, it was over in 26 seconds, and there is the possibility that they could tell a story with this compared to Eva and Alexa, which the feud has been bad, the match was bad, and then one of our world title matches tonight where that feud was bad and the match was also bad and had a horrible finish.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
So Joey, I think I'm gonna let you stay on this island. I don't think I can say that
That's fine.
the world title match was.
That's fine. That's fine.
But I will say this was one of the worst things I've ever seen. This is disgusting.
Yeah, it just, you know, but that's the thing. Like, the world title match was meant to be on the show because it's a title match. It's a WWE title match.
Yeah.
Okay. This match, I don't understand what the purpose of this match was. Like, this wasn't even. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, this wasn't even like. It was stupid. They were fighting over what?
A doll.
A doll.
That's.
I mean, fighting over a doll, bad match. I think it's kind of worse than, you know, fighting over the world title, bad match. In my opinion.
To play devil's advocate,
No.
it's the world championship.
That is also true. So you should expect more. I understand that. I'm not saying Goldberg and Lashley was a good match in any means.
Okay.
By the way.
Well, I'll accept what you say.
100% don't think
I
that.
don't have
So.
an issue with it. Yeah, so we'll get to that in a bit. But moving forward,
Do we have to?
Yeah, sadly, we have to do it for the rest of the show. RK Bro gets interviewed by Mario Lopez, and basically,
Don't forget about Mario Lopez's great line.
what?
I've been a lifelong wrestling fan.
Oh.
You can tell I've been a long fan since the WWF days by my Heart Foundation shirt.
Oh my god.
Riddle then says that he has a surprise for Randy on Raw, so oh boy. That should be
We also got Randy Collins saying that they are the three most devastating letters. RK bro? Bro, is that how you say it? And walking away.
Yeah. After this, we had Damian Priest versus Sheamus for the U.S. title. I also missed part of this because I was talking to my landlord about the garbage disposal. This was a recurring theme for the beginning of the show.
I hope our landlord is one of our
I
listeners.
hope so. It'd be pretty great. Shout out to Shravan. Anyways, so I'll let you guys talk about this. I will say the most important thing coming out of this was Sheamus hit a really cool flying knee strike on Damian Priest, who's coming off the top rope. That looked cool. From what I saw, of this match, it was good. But I'll let you guys talk about it because I didn't really see it.
Damian Priest has been underwhelming, to say the least, since Mania. I just feel like the injury plus the storyline with Miz and Morrison continuing for so long, then disappearing again, and then getting put into a title that I don't think many people care about right now, has kind of cooled off all the momentum from his Mania run. And that kind of sucks because Priest is pretty good. I enjoy him. I know Pat enjoys him. Joey, do you enjoy Damian Priest?
I think he's good. I just don't really care for him. Maybe it's because I don't really understand what his character is, and he's just bow and arrow man, or.
Oh, he's a bow and arrow vampire who owns a nightclub, has sex with women, and has a pool.
I'm not saying he's not a bad wrestler. I think he's a fine wrestler. It's just I don't really understand his gimmick and character and stuff, and so I'm not very much invested into him. But yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go into that. His character is confusing. The fact that he's still kind of involved with Miz and Morrison.
Yeah, that's weird too. I don't
boggles
know.
me. I guess we should point out that the end of the pre-show, we did get the reveal that Miz and Morrison had a big surprise to get the crowd wet because they had been hurting for a squirtin'. They got to say that a few times tonight, and I still think that's a great line.
Oh my god. Don't encourage
But yeah, Damian Priest just feels confusing because, like I said, good wrestler, character's just awful and isn't explained well. And Sheamus has just been a very cowardly heel, except for this week where he, on Raw, became a leprechaun.
I feel like Priest doesn't have a set direction.
Correct.
It's either between him and Sheamus or him and Miz and Morrison. So hopefully with this U.S. title win, maybe you can set direction, and maybe he can finally grow his character, and then people can get more attached to it. I think that would be helpful. So, but who knows? He can easily just lose the title on Raw in a rematch to Sheamus. So you never know with the WWE. So he could still be directionless even with the title. So we've seen it plenty of times. So.
That is certainly fair.
Sadly,
we'll say. Yeah. What was after this?
Oh, well, you gotta say who won.
Oh, you guys didn't say. I could
No.
have subbed out.
Oh yeah, Damian Priest.
Damian Priest won with the Reckoning. So yeah,
we got a
Priest
new
is
U.S. champion. Yep.
Which we talk about later. It might be a new title, according to Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, fucking know.
Dude, I hope so.
The Mysterios are backstage, and Dominic apologizes for his actions on SmackDown. Ray says the past, and they need to focus on tonight. And then we get the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. It's the Usos defending against the Mysterios. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember this match. This show was long, and some of these matches just kind of were over too quickly to remember.
Yeah, and some of the moments on the show kind of baffled us. So it kind of really threw us off.
Dude.
On some other matches.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go on a little tangent here. I was not confident with my predictions for the show. We haven't really been talking about our predictions. We'll go over it at the end. But I was at least feeling a little bit confident about some of these matches. And then I just didn't really get many. I finished our thing with like 6 points total for our predictions. I did get this one correct. The Usos won, and I had that. But man, I just like coming out of the show. It was so deflating to see some of these finishes on this card because so much of this was like some of the quality of this was fine, but like again, this was like a big 4 pay-per-view, and it didn't really feel like the matches were up to par with that, outside of a few exceptions. But like it just felt like this was, you know, I'm not trying to play AEW versus WWE, but last night AEW, or 2 nights ago now, AEW put on Rampage the first dance, and we had the return of CM Punk, which is going to go down as like an all-time great wrestling moment, and a show that people are going to remember for like years and years and years. And then WWE comes out with SummerSlam, and so much of this show is just like genuinely questionable booking. It's just weird. Not really a fan of it, and like I said, again, a lot of this show just kind of like blurred together for me. So I don't have thoughts on this tag team title match. The Usos won. Do you guys have anything you want to say about it?
I've got one thing, and it's not about the match.
Okay.
The Mysterio's gear was the ugliest gear ever. It was a bright pink and bright yellow, and it was hurt because like maybe it would look better if it was like dark in the arena or it was dark outside, but it's basically the middle of the late afternoon out in Las Vegas, so it was still very sunny. Mm-hmm. Also, just on the right on the butt of Ray, it just says "I am Lucha."
Just in case you forgot.
Yeah. I don't care about the Mysterios and the Usos storyline, and maybe that's because we don't watch it, but it feels like this has been going on forever at this point. And like we talked about today, I totally forgot that there's even another babyface tag team on SmackDown.
Yeah. See, I don't have... Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I don't really care. I don't watch SmackDown, so I'm not really invested into whatever storylines they got going on. But I think it might be time to separate and like detach Ray from his son. If you want to ever have like Dominic like be his own person, like in this company, like be like a future star, I feel like he has to branch away from his father. You know what I mean? Like an event, he's gonna have to.
100%.
Because I feel like in some matches, like he can rely on Ray, like in case to make him look better. You know what I mean? Like in case anything goes down. So I feel like if he wants to be his own person and have his own character and like carry on his dad's legacy, because Ray's not going to be around forever. He's going to eventually not be able to wrestle anymore, and he's going to want to retire. So and then the next 20 years will belong to Dominic. So if you want to make a new star, like I know WWE kind of struggles with that, and they've been put in positions where you have a new star, and they always manage to fumble the bag a bit. And we'll get to that later on in this show where they have a new star, and they pretty much in 26 seconds.
Well, I would say in 2 different matches you had that happen. Both of the women's matches, I feel.
Yeah.
Because they threw Nikki to the side.
Point. Yeah, that is point.
So.
Yeah.
The only other thing, I just want to say, I totally forgot Dominic existed, and he's the 5th person that hasn't.
Oh yeah, he skipped NXT. True.
And he is somebody I feel like definitely should have gone through it because he hadn't wrestled anywhere else. Like this was just straight up, hey, you want to become a wrestler? Go to the Performance Center for a few weeks or months, and you're gonna be in a tag team with your dad. So that felt real rushed. At least Omos had been in the NXT, the Performance Center system for quite some time, and Strowman was in the Performance Center for quite some time, and Babatunde, Commander Aziz had been in the Performance Center for quite some time, and Mike Kanellis had been a wrestler for quite some time. Dom just got thrown right to the wolves, basically. And he's done well. Like, he's not a bad wrestler. Like, he's the most mobile of the big guys that are still there.
Dom?
He's mobile. He's not bad.
Okay, when we're talking about big guys, I wouldn't say Dom is necessarily big. It's just that he's bigger than Ray.
And he's bigger than Mike Kanellis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he's just a medium
I'm gonna be
guy.
honest.
You don't care about Dom.
I don't like Dominic Mysterio.
Okay.
I don't get any of the hype behind him. I just think he's a guy, and I'm sure that could change. But like you said, I think he's somebody
He's a
who
branch away. They know who Dominic is because he's the son of Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, my issue is what Ryan was saying is Dominic 100% should have gone through the Performance Center, should have gone through NXT. That's somebody who would have benefited from that.
Yeah.
Like he just comes off. There's like on Botchamania. There's clips of him just like looking so lost in the ring, and it's just like as much as he's with Ray, who's gonna help him because he's his dad, he has to do stuff on his own.
He got to cut the line basically.
Exactly.
His dad is. I mean, and there's not always.
That's not against Ray or Dominic,
like that's
it's
fine.
It's their choice creatively.
Right. Ray has been very open that he wanted to team with Dom before he retires. I think Dom is 100% going to retire Ray.
That would make the most sense.
Right.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And I think the end is getting closer and closer for Ray.
I'd hope so. Jesus.
Like he's still pretty good in the ring.
Yeah, Ray's good.
He's got his moments where he botches, but I feel like that's everybody. Yeah. It's just because of his style, it looks worse at points or more dangerous. I think Dom and Ray obviously have the story laid out, and I don't know if you do it right away, like if you just split them, because like there's been the teases of Dom like trying to cheat to win to be like the Usos. So maybe you have Dom be like, okay, well I'm tired of doing it your way, let's do it my way, whatever.
And that potential heel turn might be what Dominic needs to branch away. Get rid of the flashy gear. If they want to make him go heel, get rid of the flashy gear. Redesign his character. Maybe a name change, because just Dominic, that's his ring name. Dominic. It's just I don't know, that just doesn't really do anything. It's really weird. I don't know. Maybe just call him something else.
I have to wonder if that's the part of the reason why Dijakovic got his name changed.
He could have just been Dijak or Dijakovic.
Yeah.
He didn't need to be, or change his first name. He didn't need to be Dominic.
Yeah.
There's also multiple Nickis. There was Nikki Bella, Nikki Cross. They were on the roster at the same time.
Were they?
Probably. I don't fucking know. There's probably cases of people being on the same roster.
Because I know there's the rumor of the reason they changed Nikki to Nikki ASH as her actual name that they announced her is because they didn't want two crosses on the same show.
Yeah, well.
So that just came to me.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. Moving on, we got Rick Boog showing up on this show randomly, and he played Shinsuke Nakamura out to the ring. That was it. Shinsuke came down, he posed at ringside, and then we went to Bianca Belair's entrance.
Yeah, we got
this made no sense.
This was pointless.
This was just literally filler.
This was.
I don't.
And I understand trying to get people on the card. Why couldn't you have put Shinsuke doing a title defense on here instead of Eva and Alexa? Nah, dude, it was garbage to do this, and I won't defend it.
No.
Bianca comes out, and she gets to the ring, and they announce that Sasha Banks is unable to compete tonight. Carmella will be her replacement. Carmella comes out. The crowd is not happy about this, as expected.
There's a "We Want Sasha" chant.
Yep. Bianca gets on the mic and says that after Carmella makes her entrance, she gets on the mic after her entrance and says that while Sasha Banks may not be here tonight, sooner or later she will be, and they will have their match. But for right now, it's Carmella. Becky Lynch's music hits. She comes down to a great reaction, and she beats up Carmella, throws her out, and then we officially have Bianca and Becky basically agree to do a title match tonight. And Becky says, Becky literally says that we should blow off the roof tonight. And that suggested that they're going to have an actual match here. Becky then proceeds to beat Bianca Belair for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship in 26 seconds. Bianca Belair gets no offense, and Becky hits like a forearm and then her finisher. That's not like the
Dude. Actually,
It's not disarm.
it shocked me when it ended. I was like, wait,
It
what?
was just one move and it was over. Apparently, it's called the manhandle. It was the finisher.
Oh, no.
And so yeah, that was that. I love Becky Lynch. She's been a favorite of mine since NXT when I first started watching in 2014. But this was not it. This is not how you do anything. Bianca Belair has been fucked over so much during her title reign. Not her fault, and not really. I wouldn't even say it's the WWE's fault in some regards. Bayley got injured and their match got pulled. That was a freak accident. And then this happened where Sasha couldn't make it to the show and they replaced her with Becky. This was a WWE decision to have Becky come out and squash her. And I'm not for it. It makes Bianca look like a joke. It makes this whole program of Bianca winning the title at WrestleMania and this historic match between her and Sasha Banks and then going on a reign as like a dominant babyface champion. It makes that look like a joke. It feels like the Kofi situation all over again.
It's literally the Kofi situation.
It's worse than the Kofi situation.
Different genders, just different division.
I don't know if I'd say it's worse than the Kofi situation because everybody loves Becky. With Kofi, they put it on Brock, a part-timer. Becky's at least going to be on TV. Brock was a part-timer who took the title off of Kofi, and it was just...
I'd say they have their equals.
I still think Brock squashing Kofi was worst, but this wasn't good by any means.
I think the storyline that it led to was worse with Brock being Kofi because Kofi then didn't acknowledge that he was ever world champion and nobody acknowledged it.
Yeah, but to be fair, Bianca lost her title tonight and then they kept cutting to her and she just looked like she was okay. She was just like, you beat me, and that was that. Like, I would be angry if I lost my title to somebody who wasn't supposed to be here.
Right, and
go out there and react like this.
This is the situation that you're in where you couldn't have had... Like, I understand you wanted a big match for this. You couldn't have, is Becky not, cleared to take moves still, or what? Who does this help? This doesn't help Becky, because she was already a made person, and now she just comes back and hits 2 moves and is like, haha, I'm the champ. And your babyface champion that you just had means absolutely nothing. I feel like this is worse, because Kofi was an established person. This was Bianca's run to make her an established new star. And they cut that out from her.
I mean, it's not like it's terribly different time-wise. Bianca won the title at Mania and lost it at SummerSlam. Kofi won the title at Mania and lost it...
on the first episode.
Which was October 1st.
Yeah.
So it's only like a month or so.
Kofi was already an established person.
Yeah,
he's still established.
I still think it's worse for Kofi because the whole story was that this was Kofi proving that he was he had what it took to be what nobody thought he was for decades. Or not decades, a decade in WWE. Did it, then went on to have literally the best WWE Championship run in quite some time for WWE, and then had it pulled out from under him in 6 seconds by Brock Lesnar, and then never got a singles rematch for the title. Bianca, I do expect them to have a program with her and Becky where she'll probably have an actual match. I still think it was a horrible decision, and I'm going to stand by that, but I don't think it's as harmful to Bianca as it is to Kofi, because Kofi, he challenged Lashley earlier this year, but nobody thought he was going to fucking win, and then he got squashed by Lashley.
Yeah.
It was just a beatdown.
Yeah, I think Kofi is in worse shape than
Bianca will be overall.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, I think the damage has been done to Kofi. I mean, yeah, people are gonna love Kofi regardless.
But he's never gonna be back where he was.
But you're not gonna forget that moment. You know what I mean? You're not gonna forget this moment either. As a wrestling fan, but you're not gonna forget Kofi finally after Bianca hasn't been with the company long.
No.
Right.
But she's already I'm gonna try to say this as nice as possible. She is old for a woman wrestler.
Is she?
She's over 30.
Oh.
That's
and
fair.
There's not many, the only outlier, somebody going super long, I'd say currently is Asuka, who's almost 40, if not 40 already. And that's because she's a freak of nature and just really, really good.
Yeah,
Bianca's good, but and going back to Kofi, because Bianca is a woman, there's not other opportunities like there is for the men's division.
That is true.
Kofi is always going to go down as the person with the longest tag run of all time in WWE.
Yeah.
One of the most tag
Right.
team champions.
Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point because like the women only have the tag titles, but the tag division is a joke, and it's not like the women don't have a mid card belt,
Right.
I feel like
No, don't say it.
not present day. Like if it were more serious, like not present day. It's just weird that they've never established it. As much as we don't want it,
if there was no brand split or there was like an all women show, then yeah. But with how like they book Raw and stuff and SmackDown, you couldn't do it. With having the tag titles, the 2 singles titles on the mid card, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, and to me, it feels like there's already a mid card title, and that's the NXT Women's title at this point. Like I feel like that's a stepping stone to get there. Just because the women's divisions are so small compared to the men's divisions.
Yeah, and that's where I think sometimes the brand split kind of hurts the company in a way, because then you have like certain titles can only be defended on one show, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like you don't just have one roster together and then just have 2 shows. So you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and I mean, look at the AEW; it's working out perfectly fine.
Yeah,
for them.
like
they don't have a brand split.
Yeah, I pray they never even like think of doing something like that because it's just if it works, like if it's not broken, like you need to fix it.
Only thing I would say for AEW that I'd be like, okay, this is totally fine, is if they had this title is only defended on Rampage, like a Rampage TV title or something.
We don't need that. There's already the TNT title.
But if you're going to have them on 2 different, we are, as of right now, we are going to end up having Rampage is going to be on TNT next year, and Dynamite's going to be on TBS. So if the TNT title is on the TBS show, that doesn't make sense.
I think that's nitpicking at points because the TNT title's also been on defense on pay-per-view, and that's not on TNT. And it's also, TBS is under the Warner brand. It's still Turner.
Just call it TV title.
I don't have an issue
I don't know.
with calling it
I'm
the TNT
cool.
title.
Yeah, I'm cool with that because I feel like it's a staple title now. Like,
yeah, it's associated with
There's a lot of guys and like a lot of people in AEW that have that title as their most prestigious title. Like they put it over the world title sometimes. Like just how they talk about stuff. Like Cody
I mean now Cody talks about it now because Cody can't challenge for the world title.
Miro
exactly. Makes it feels like it's the top prize in wrestling with having.
I mean the world title is the world title. Obviously, I'm not taking anything away from that.
No, but like
the world. That's going to be the biggest prize.
No,
but
and
the TNT feels.
almost
like
equal.
That.
Yeah, it feels like the way they present it.
Doesn't feel like just like an IC US title.
No,
right?
I was gonna say, I mean, there are some wrestlers who have made it the TNT or the IC title feel like it's just a big deal. It's their like the Miz, Ziggler when they were at their prime.
Yeah, but the issue is the company doesn't view it as that. Whereas AEW views the TNT title as like an important thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but we'll see what happens with Bianca. But regardless, we are all very anti this treatment.
Yeah.
So. We had gold medalist winners come out. Tamara Mensah, and Gable Stevenson, and they came out, posed, and that was it.
Yeah,
we went
this was really
entrance of just American music playing in the background.
Oh yeah, brother.
And we had Pat. I think it was Pat McAfee talking about how Gable is eyeing up. He's got offers from 4 NFL teams, the UFC, Bellator, and maybe even WWE in his future.
Who knows?
Which has mainly just been Gable tweeting out it multiple times to Vince and WWE to sign him.
Sure.
And Kurt Angle apparently saying that he's the next big thing in wrestling.
Could be.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. This was short, and that's all that matters. Drew won with the Claymore. That was that. After the match, Veer and Shanky came down to check on Jinder. McIntyre grabbed his sword and started swinging it at them. this is a babyface who was literally
You're gonna poke
almost,
an eye out,
almost
kid.
trying to murder people at this point. This was possibly
Yeah.
attempted murder of people trying to check on their friends.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, babyface, everybody.
It just shows how stupid this story has been.
Yeah, this feud is dumb. This just needs to be over with. There's no reason for this to
Continue.
go longer.
Yeah. Well, hey man, they announced Extreme Rules is the next pay-per-view, and you know what? The sword is a weapon. We could get a sword match.
Oh, we also forgot to talk about what they followed the Becky Lynch and
Was that where they
Bianca
announced
match.
it?
Right after that,
Okay.
we got the reveal of the return of a legendary event.
Yeah, let me pull this up so I get the date right.
While you pull that up,
Okay.
I just came up with something in my head that I can see WWE do with the sword match. So it'll be kind of like a pole match, but on the outside of the ring. Get this, okay? Two wrestlers start in the ring, but on the outside of the ring, the sword is in a fake rock, okay? And the first person to pull the sword out of the rock wins the match. Definitely see something like that.
I was gonna say it could be like the Alexa Bliss versus Bailey kendo stick on a pole, where if you pull it off, you're the only one who's allowed to use it.
Oh, yeah.
So Drew can just start cutting people up.
Yep,
But
exactly.
if he drops it, Jinder can't use it. He has to just respectfully let it drop.
That's right.
That's fair. So as Ryan was saying, they announced that Crown Jewel will be returning from Saudi Arabia in October. It is officially October 21st. Yes, October 21st. So that's,
I feel like that with that date, I feel like that might just be the pay-per-view for that month.
for October.
Yeah, because
Yeah, there's no Helms though.
right, and what you're called Extreme Rules is the 26th of
October.
October.
Why
So
isn't
let's
there
say
a Hell in a
September.
Cell?
September.
Hell in a Cell just happened.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell happened in
June.
Yeah.
June or July.
Yeah, I mean it's possible, which is weird, but who knows. So that was that. Moving on, we went into the Raw Women's Triple Threat match. This was Charlotte Flair versus Nikki Ash versus Rhea Ripley. I will say this was the first time on the show that like a match actually was, I don't know, somewhat entertaining to me. I thought for what it was, I again haven't enjoyed this story. I thought all three women like actually worked hard to do something here. Charlotte always brings it in big matches like this, so as much as people hate on her booking, she's always consistent. Rhea looked good. Nikki also looked pretty good. Again, hate her gimmick, but she gives good performances. So I thought they had a pretty solid triple threat here. Nothing like really special. This wasn't to the level of Charlotte and Rhea at Money in the Bank, which was like excellent. This was good. I'll say it was good. But the ending was not good. Charlotte won via submission with the figure eight, tapping out Nikki Cross to become the new Raw Women's Championship. Why did...
Oh, she's the championship?
Yeah, why did Nikki Cross win this in the first place if we're just going to give it right back to Charlotte? Absolutely no sense. The women are now also without a Money in the Bank holder, so the women's division also becomes less interesting there. So, ending this, awful. Match itself, pretty good. But yeah, not really excited to see Charlotte as champion on Raw because most likely Nikki's just going to challenge her again, so we're just going to get their feud.
I feel like we're going to continue the...
No, Rhea has no claim to the title at this
She
point.
didn't get pinned. Or
She shouldn't have been in the match to begin with, and she got pinned on Raw. She got pinned by Charlotte on Raw.
She never got a rematch. That's why.
She doesn't need a fucking rematch. Get her out of here. She's awful on Raw. She doesn't deserve to be in this title picture. Get her off of TV for like a month to give her a reset. And then bring her back when they do the brand split. Move her to SmackDown or something. She'd be more interesting over
Well, if it's got to be a babyface, I guess bring back Asuka finally.
Asuka, Dana Brooke.
No, she's not.
Dude,
Dana
think about
Brooke
it. They
is
don't
atrocious.
have any. They don't really have a challenger for Asuka. Or Asuka for Charlotte.
The only thing
Besides
The
Asuka.
only thing I could think of is if Raquel Gonzalez loses to Dakota.
Yeah.
She is the babyface. They could always bring her up. So
Yeah, they could do
That's
that.
an option.
But what do you do after that?
no idea. Absolutely no
I
idea.
feel like they're running out of like I don't know.
They needed a reset. They need a draft reset
They
thing.
need something.
Because it's been a while since the last one, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up real quick if they've actually announced a
I don't think they have.
draft 2021.
I think there's just people saying that it's back to October.
Andrew Zarian has it reported that the draft will take place over the August 30th episode of Monday Night Raw and the September 3rd episode of SmackDown. They haven't announced anything, so unless they say it on Raw, I'm going to assume that that's just not the case at this point.
Yeah.
People have reported since then that it's going to be later. So unless that's the same, unless he's saying it new.
Let's see. I found one from Sportskeeda from July 18th. They say August 30th to September 3rd as well.
Yeah.
So, never mind. Update from Andrew Zarian. October 1st and 4th or October 4th and 8th. So it's one of those two. So October seems to be when we're getting the brand split. Or not brand split, the draft or reshuffle, whatever you want to call it. So, still some time. Anyway, moving forward, we go to Edge versus Seth Rollins. Finally, this was the match I was looking forward to most on the card, and thankfully it delivered. They had as expected, that Seth and Edge had a pretty solid match.
We also got a fantastic entrance.
Yeah, Edge came out, the lights went out in the arena, and the Brood music started playing, and we got the old school Brood entrance with the fire and Edge coming up on an elevator. Absolutely wonderful. He walks down, stops like halfway on the ramp. The lights go out again, and then Metalingus plays.
Yeah, good transition. That was a great transition.
This is definitely a top tier WWE entrance for quite some time. This was great.
It was just missing the cool pyro.
At least he had fire.
Yeah,
he did
get the fire.
He did get fire for it.
But there was zero pyro. Like
there's
actual
just
so
fire
weird.
on this whole show.
Yeah, weird.
For SummerSlam and like in a huge arena. I don't know what the ruling was.
I think it was just the setup.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, they did it. They put it too close together. Like
I don't know. Anyway, not really going to go through this whole match, but it was, again, as expected, it was really good. In terms of, if you're going to watch like one match from the pay-per-view, I'd probably recommend Edge and Seth.
Yeah, I think this was easily the best match of the entire show.
Yeah, again, the only two matches I would actively recommend to people would be this and the main event with Cena and Reigns. And then close third, probably the women's triple threat.
Yeah.
But by far, Edge and Rollins. Again, these are two.
As expected.
Rollins is still, again, everybody's opinion on Seth Rollins has probably changed over the last couple of years. He's still like one of the best wrestlers. Mm-hmm. And Edge, since he came back, has consistently delivered good performances.
He doesn't have a bad match that I can think of.
Edge?
Since he's come back?
Yeah, well, at least for me. I know everybody else in our group kind of liked it, but the last man standing match with Randy that was like 47 minutes at WrestleMania.
I enjoyed that.
I remember we all talked about that, and everybody was shocked I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I was not.
That was up there for like your worst match of the year, right?
No. That was just.
Oh no, it was up for other people's match of the
year, and I was just like absolutely not.
Yeah.
But yes, other than that, Edge has been consistently great when coming back, and even in that match, he had a good performance. It was paced way too slow.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What do you guys have to say about this?
I thought this was, like I said, the best match of the show by far. It makes sense. Both of them work really well. This is the match we talked about on the predictions show that we were most looking forward to when Edge came back. Most of us wanted the Seth versus Edge match. It made sense storyline reasons with Seth threatening to end or like paralyze Edge in 2014 during Seth's best heel run. It's just all signs have been leading to this, it felt like, and like the video package for this I thought was really good, highlighting like the history leading up to this. Some of their promos, they're both fantastic on the mic for the most part. And yeah, this was just a really fun, good match. And it felt good to watch this match.
I was going to break this up, but I'll wait. Joey, if you want to say anything, then I'll share something with you all.
Yeah, I would say this is my favorite match of the night, honestly. I think this match was a very, very bright spot on a show that had some very questionable things happen. And it's kind of a reminder that, when WWE wants to, apply themselves and book something right with these two guys, that it can work. You know, sometimes, like, you know, Punk said it best. You know, pro wrestling doesn't need to be overproduced and like, you know, kind of like how we see. You know, you just let it be organic. You know, just let it come naturally. And I think Seth and Edge have great chemistry together in the ring. And I'm glad that we finally got to see this match, because like I feel like everyone wanted to see this match, but like, you know, we always thought we weren't gonna ever see it because, you know, Edge was gonna come back, and then as soon as he came back, all like in my head, I was just like, all right, cool, Seth versus Edge, like we're gonna finally get to see that. Because like when, you know, someone comes back and you think about all the dream matches, and that's the dream match that like I wanted to see personally, and I feel like a lot of people wanted to see it. So yeah.
Okay. So what I saw and started giggling to myself when Ryan was talking is the John Cena SummerSlam 21 Gold NFT that's on sale. There's only 500 of them.
Oh God.
I can't really show it to you all because this isn't a video podcast, but I'm going to show it to you guys so you guys can see what this NFT is. So it is a 15-second clip.
Good.
Okay.
And it's this. So for those who watched the pay-per-view tonight, you'll know John Cena came out with new gear where it's inspired by Super Mario Bros. 3. This NFT sees the John Cena character sprite fly onto the screen, stay in front of a card, and then fly away. He also does the "You Can't See Me" taunt. This is priced for $1,000.
Oh my God.
There's only 500 available. However, it's not a regular NFT because you also get a prize pack, a John Cena merchandise box personally curated by John Cena, which includes a t-shirt individually numbered with a sewn-on label, a hat, a set of wristbands, a towel, a signed printed piece, a poster, and an exclusive mini version of his signature title. So this is what you get in here. You get all this stuff for
What is the
$1,000.
signature?
For $1,000?
$1,000.
I don't think so, but
I don't understand.
The signature title. This is the signature title. It's
$300
the-
maybe.
Oh, it's the spinner.
It's the spinner belt, but it's on orange like felt.
and it's small. Like
Yeah, it's
how
mini.
small
It's
is
mini.
it?
I don't
though?
know. It doesn't say the size.
What's your call? You can call me. You can give me Boomer of the Week if you want to. I will never understand NFTs and why they're so expensive.
Yeah, that's a weird flex.
Speaking of Boomer of the Week, it's Saturday, Ryan. Well, it's Sunday now. Who is Boomer of the Week?
Well, I said that I was saving Boomer of the Week for tonight because I wanted to see if Bill Goldberg would win, and if he did win, him and WWE were going to get it. That didn't happen. Honestly, I know we mentioned something on the Raw podcast. I think it was just me saying like Bill Goldberg should be it because of his promo or something.
Was it about the promo or was it about him with his son?
It might have been him
Always
and his
bringing
son.
his son.
I don't know. Or his son was like posing at the end, and then Bill did something.
I don't remember.
So do you want to just give it to Goldberg?
I do want to give it to Goldberg, but I'm not going to give it to Goldberg.
Okay, what are you giving it to?
I want to give it to WWE Creative
Oh, good.
for the decision on
Bianca.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
because this goes back to the boomer idea that we can't create stars, so let's just give a title to somebody who's already been a star in the company.
Yeah, it's like a comfort thing. Like they just gotta keep on going back to what they're used to.
Gotta go back to the well until it's dry, and when it's dry, keep on going.
To be fair, you guys are acting like, well, at least how you're talking about it, you're acting like Becky Lynch is like this old washed up talent. She's the most over person in the company.
No, but that's the thing.
But I don't think that.
She
already
she
established,
shouldn't have
like,
squashed her.
No,
but like putting the title on Becky, I don't think is an inherently bad decision.
No, but in the situation.
In the situation, yes, but I think you should word it better at that point.
Yeah,
because
that's
again,
fair.
putting a title on Becky Lynch is not a bad decision.
No.
Yeah, it's just the circumstances.
Going to the idea of squashing somebody.
Yeah, I also
Listen,
think
if they had like an actual match,
I feel like we would just be talking. This wouldn't even be a conversation. Right
I
now.
also think it's worth noting
Right.
that you could give it to WWE, not for that, but for stacking SmackDown so hard against Raw, because SmackDown now has Becky Lynch, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar, Edge, Seth Rollins, Big E, technically you have Sasha Banks, Bianca. It just feels like SmackDown is such...
Bailey
whenever
back.
she comes back, the Mysterios, the Usos. It just feels like
Again,
SmackDown feels
the
like...
3 call-ups that they've done.
Yeah.
Again, you wouldn't have this issue if you just had one roster and didn't have this brand split.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's the. I think, just looking back at things, because like, when you get used to like one thing in wrestling, because when it was just WWE, like that was like the main wrestling show before AEW, like that you would watch on television. Of course, like Impact TNA was on Spike back in the day. But you're just used to how they run things. But then, fast forward in 2021, think about it, the whole Raw versus SmackDown thing is kind of dumb because they work for the same company, and it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like they're making it like NXT, Raw, SmackDown, but they're all one company. You know what I mean? Like they're all employed by one company, and it's just like.
While I do agree with that, I will
just
say the most entertaining time I've had watching WWE was during the 2016, 2017 brand split era. SmackDown was on another level with being headlined by Cena, Ambrose, and Styles. And then you had the mid-card IC title with Miz and Ziggler having an all-time great IC feud. And then you had the SmackDown tag division that had the Usos when they first turned heel. American Alpha, the Wyatt family with Orton and Wyatt, Slater and Rhino, the Headbangers.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like that's just a lost time. I feel like we're never going to get back to that era.
I don't think we will.
I think that was the last golden era
for WWE, 100%.
It was really good.
I wouldn't say that the way you guys are making it out to be is WWE can never recover from what they're doing, and
I'm not saying they can't recover.
WWE is about to die.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that for me personally, all I said was that it was the most entertaining time for me as a fan.
No, but this Joey just said we're never going to get to that level again.
I don't think you will.
Ever in the history of WWE,
the direction,
$1 billion company,
the direction
they're going in with this whole less wrestling, more entertainment.
Also,
I don't think we're getting back to that.
Also, just look at the ratings compared to it from then.
I don't think we're going to get back. As long as
Angelo has constantly pointed out, every sport in general has been plummeting. There's not a single sport that you can go since streaming has started.
Yeah, but
that is up.
Yeah, but for NFL, they have Red Zone or the NFL Network where you can watch games, and that's not for cable. This is their just audience isn't there.
NFL Network's on cable.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Well, it's a premium channel.
Yeah, exactly. It's a premium thing.
But it's grouped in with other things.
Right, well, regardless, it's pretty I think it's.
I'm not even talking about the rating aspect.
I'm talking about the ratings.
I personally don't talk about the rating aspect of it. I'm talking about how the direction they're going in is less wrestling and more entertainment.
But you could say that about the late mid 2000s when they swapped to the PG era.
Yeah, you could.
And they recovered. WWE has always been wrestling in general has always had these highs and lows.
Yeah, but I feel like current day wrestling is the lowest.
WWE
is really low. I can't remember
also,
the last time they've been this low.
They also didn't get managed like this, where they're doing mass releases on a regularly scheduled
basis.
basis.
True.
Morale has to be all time low.
Yeah.
They're releasing big name talents like Bray Wyatt, Aleister Black. They failed to re-sign Daniel Bryan. CM Punk has come back to wrestling in another company.
And Nick Khan doesn't feel like a wrestling fan. He feels just a business guy.
But neither was Vince. Vince has gone on record numerous times that he views WWE as a business first.
That's fair, but at the same time, but I think he obviously has some kind of attachment to wrestling.
100% he does.
Nick
Look how long he's been.
Nick Khan just sounds just strictly business. If you just see what he's been doing, talking about doing budget cuts and all that stuff.
I think that if this whole thing is with how everybody, there seems to be a lot of people saying speculating that this is leading to a WWE sale.
I mean, except Nick Khan. Nick Khan has kind of pushed it aside.
But you'd say that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to say, yeah, we're trying to sell our company, because that would kill the stock price of your thing would plummet.
Yeah.
And then if you are in the midst of talking with a sale, then the price goes down because your value is down. So that makes sense that he's like, we're not trying to sell.
All right, what's your point?
If a big company like a Universal, a Disney, like the different people that keep on getting mentioned, would buy into this. If they buy into it, it can bring in new life, and it can maybe stop the cutting of big names.
The key
At
word.
the level.
The key word is could.
Yeah.
It could also
or
go
it
in
couldn't.
the opposite direction. That's just because they buy it, somebody buys into the company and makes changes doesn't mean they're good changes.
I guess it
No.
depends on who buys it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
and
it depends
what their
on who buys it,
intentions are.
exactly.
But if you are a Disney, if you are a Universal, you're not buying into it to destroy it. You're
I'm not
buying
saying that they
into
are
it.
intentionally destroying it, but
No,
they could make
I
their
mean,
own
they
changes.
could
Yes.
literally target a certain audience.
That's fair.
And
That's fair.
like children.
Yeah,
They've
if,
been
Dis-
doing.
if Disney,
And they could just make it even more.
If
Like,
Disney bought the company and was like, "Oh, we're gonna make it rated G and put it on and just try to focus on children's wrestling content," and
Well,
make
that
it
would
for the kids.
that would end WWE.
No, it wouldn't. They would probably put it on the network. They're not the network, I should say. It'd be on like Disney Plus as a Disney Plus exclusive. And
it would still
just
be around.
Kids would watch it. It'd be on
but
Disney
that
Channel.
goes to my point where they would probably never recover.
No,
in
you
a
wouldn't.
Wrestling
You wouldn't.
aspect,
And you,
like a
yeah.
professional wrestling.
Nobody
aspect.
would view it as what it is.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this has gotten off topic.
It's okay.
We get the announcement. We get the announcement of the wrestling of how many people are in attendance. They say it's 51,326. WrestleTix put out the official thing.
These damn liars.
It was sold for tickets distributed were 45,690 tickets. I don't even know what.
I feel like they always do this. I feel like
do.
they always do this. They always
Again,
do this. It's nothing new. It's just what they're gonna do.
Every sport does this, and
I
not to this extent, but
Yeah.
just because you sold that amount of tickets doesn't mean that there weren't more people there, because lots of sports give tickets away.
Yeah, but like regardless, I still feel like boasting about the number of people there that like isn't like the number of tickets sold.
But they don't say the amount of tickets we sold is this.
No,
it's
but
just the attendance.
Yeah, but I still feel like again, you're boasting. It's not even like adding that much more. You're adding like.
Like
10,000
this
more
isn't
people.
as
No,
egregious.
not even 10,000.
This isn't the egregious nature of like the WrestleMania where they claim they had like 80,000 people in an arena that can only hold like 40,000.
No,
where they literally
Right.
doubled it.
No, my issue.
Right.
My
Unless
issue.
they got people sitting on each other's laps.
My
like-
issue with this is that they only boosted it by like 5,000. It was 46,000.
So
They put it by.
what it probably is they gave a lot of tickets away, like 5,000 tickets away.
But why not just
That's a
why
lot
not
of
why
tickets
not
to
just
give away.
why not just boast about the numbers of tickets you sold? 45,000 tickets, selling that in a pandemic is still really
Yeah.
fucking impressive.
Yeah.
So saying, "Oh, we got 5,000 extra people." Who's bragging about this? No, nobody. It doesn't matter because it just makes it look like if anybody goes to actually look at the sales numbers, it just looks like you're lying, and it's just weird. One of the worst segments of the night, we have John Morrison and Miz show up in the water
This is
truck.
awful.
They come down the ring and
Dude.
start talking about the moistness and how
Oh
it's
my
dry in
God.
Las Vegas. They talk about the Dripstick 2000 and how neither of them brought it. Xavier Woods then comes into the ring dressed as Razor Ramon.
For no reason.
No reason at all, and then sprays them down with the water gun, and that was it. This was a waste of fucking time. And
He also said, survey says numerous times for no apparent reason.
I don't know.
This.
They could have cut this, and they could have cut the Rick Boogs Nakamura thing, and they could have cut Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss and given so much time to Becky and Bianca. But no, we needed to do this.
We also need to go back because you totally forgot the greatest moment of the night, which is Tiffany Haddish.
No, we don't need to talk about that. Tiffany Haddish she slipped up and said the United States.
No.
national
She said
champion.
that Damian Priest has become the first ever national champion.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. It's a slip up from somebody who's not a wrestling fan. She should have been like instructed.
That's
better,
the
but-
issue, is that you have like WWE has a plethora of backstage interviews.
It's whatever. Nobody's gonna remember this. They had a celebrity on the pay per view. It looks good for them.
yeah.
Non WWE fans who like Tiffany Haddish aren't gonna clown her for saying national champion. Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg for the WWE Championship. What a fucking match this was. Both of them come on out here. They stare at each other. Lashley goes for something, but Goldberg counters and does a jumping shoulder block at him.
Which looked good.
It looked like a shoulder block.
It was good for Goldberg, who is very emotional.
Dude, I'm not going to sit here and suck the guy's cock about doing a
I
fucking
wouldn't.
shoulder
Okay,
block.
I guess that me saying one move looked good is me sucking someone's cock over it. Okay.
You're getting way too defensive on a podcast. It's fine. It was a shoulder block. It's not something I'm gonna say like looked good. It's not something that we should compliment him on for hitting a basic wrestling maneuver. He hits a couple moves. He does a body slam, which commentary calls beautiful. He hits a world's strongest slam. He hits a couple clotheslines. Lashley hits a disgusting looking STO on him that I don't know whose fault this was. It just looked like they did not have any connection on this. Lashley then hit a couple spears, and I think it's raining outside.
Sounds like music.
I don't know.
But yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, he hits some spears. Goldberg does like a full 360 flip on one of them. MVP hits the back of his leg with a cane, and then he has a super delayed reaction to it and starts selling it like.
And it barely looks like he even touched it.
It was a little tap to the back.
You
of the
also
leg.
forgot how Goldberg picked up Lashley when he went up to the top rope, threw him, and almost dropped him square on his
Lashley
head.
had to work to tuck
Lashley
that flip, like to save his own neck,
Lashley
dude.
could have like broken his neck on that.
Like
That
he's
was
not
bad.
used to taking those bumps.
Outside of the ring, Bobby hit like a chop block, and then him and Goldberg doing stuff.
Kept on running having Goldberg in his arms and slamming him into the post.
Yeah. Eventually,
Never count.
Eventually, they got back in the ring. Bill is continually selling the leg damage, and he can't keep going. We get ref stoppage.
Wow,
Bobby Lashley
that's a
retains
first.
via ref stoppage. What a good decision to do.
Dude, that might be the first ever in Goldberg's career that he ever loses a match.
Ref
with
stoppage?
I
100%.
don't think. Yeah. Wow, he's down bad, dude.
But
What
it
a time to
doesn't
do it.
end.
It doesn't end. After the match, Lashley gets a chair and then starts going after Goldberg's leg.
Starts killing him.
Gage Goldberg runs in and jumps on Bobby Lashley, to which Bobby Lashley puts 15-year-old Gage Goldberg in the hurt lock. MVP then has to stop him, gets a mic, and starts saying that there's no way Lashley could have known it was Gage. Bill crawls over to him and starts screaming at Lashley as him and MVP leave. And that was the fucking match.
And then I think the best part is that commentary didn't say his age. Commentary says, well, sophomore in high school, Gage Goldberg shouldn't have jumped in the ring like that, but that's messed up of Bobby to do to a sophomore in high school. And it's like, you could have just said the age. It's not a normal thing to be like, sophomore in high school, Gage Goldberg.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. That's
And this
actually
goes-
that's a fair critique. I'll give
Because
it to you.
also, it's the same thing with like Miz and Morrison's like stupid Dripstick 2000, where they're like, it's a state of the art water shooting device. Just call it squirt gun.
It's the same thing from WrestleMania where
Yep.
Cole said box-like structure instead of box.
Or Jack in the Box.
Yeah, fucking. Anyway, this goes my worst match of the night. This was disgusting. This was a world championship match. The only good thing is that Bobby Lashley retained, but the finish was awful.
And it feels like there's going to be more.
Yeah, it feels like, as you and Rob both said while we were watching, it feels like this is going to happen in Saudi Arabia and Goldberg wins. So, yay. Anyway, they announced Extreme Rules is for September 26th. It still has all the imagery of like the horror show. They were like it made it seem like the horror show, but it was just called Extreme Rules.
It's the same colors and everything.
Yeah.
But they also announced Money in the Bank next year.
Yeah, at Allegiant Stadium.
July 4th, Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah. So
Or
that's
July 4th weekend.
Yeah, so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then this sent us to our main event, John Cena versus Roman Reigns. As expected, the crowd was very into this. Excuse me, they were very, very behind John Cena to a level I don't think anybody would have predicted a couple of years ago. Roman's completely over as a heel, and they were, again, backing the babyface and not cheering the heel, which is pretty nice to see here.
Yeah, about time.
Again, this is pretty solid match, pretty standard stuff. but it works. Everything doesn't need to be so overly complicated. It's just two like wrestlers that have pretty basic movesets, but told a good story.
And there was no interference.
No, yeah, there was no interference from the Usos or Heyman. It was just a clean match.
Which makes Roman look even stronger.
Agreed, 100%. We had the big thing here was the big attitude adjustment through the announce table from Cena. He put him back in. That got a 2 count. We got Ryan's favorite Cena move, the STO or STF.
STF.
Sorry, FCO. I'm thinking of Bobby Lashley still. The STF, which I know you love.
It looks so bad. He never locks the arms around the wrestler.
Yeah. We had a bunch of Superman punches from Roman. He went for a spear once. That didn't happen. But when he came back later on with another spear, it was enough. We also had an Avalanche AA that got a big 2 count. Am I missing anything?
I think the big thing is Roman kicked out of 3 finishers.
3 finishers, and John only took 1 spear, and it was it.
It protects the spear really well. Roman looks like an absolute monster that can defeat Cena by himself. And I know that some people might not like what's happening next, but oh boy, am I excited for it.
Joey? Not about the after. What about the match?
The match was good. Cena looks good. He looked good here. I like his appearance. I think he looks better with longer hair, more like modern hair. Not like the military buzz cut.
No comment on the lack of Peacemaker.
Yeah, I always had in my head that he was gonna have a special entrance as Peacemaker. That would have been cool.
The only reason
they did show him as Peacemaker in the video package.
I knew that it wasn't gonna happen because it's not like WWE was openly
promoting this. Yeah,
his movie. They hadn't even really acknowledged that he was even in a movie as Peacemaker. So yeah, I'd say it was a good match. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really.
After the match, Roman celebrating in the ring, and Brock Lesnar's music hits to a monster ovation. Big Daddy Brock comes out with his ponytail and his facial hair. Joey was not a fan of the look.
He looks stupid.
It looks rough.
It looks rough.
It's
But
really
I'm
dumb,
excited for the
dude.
match.
Is that what he thinks a good guy looks like? I don't what is he trying to do?
I think it's probably like a Viking type.
Well,
look.
hey, he is a former Viking. He was on the Minnesota Vikings.
I will be interested to see if he comes back when he wrestles, if he has new gear or anything.
Oh, I hope so.
It'd be pretty fitting if he changed.
Yeah, he's gonna still have that Jimmy John's logo.
I'm sure you could put it somewhere.
He doesn't need that.
No, he pulled the CM Punk and got Jimmy John's tattooed right on his
Or he can just
arm.
go to his his old
If anything, I wouldn't be.
gear from when he first debuted. His little
I can
underwear.
remember.
Well, he can't wear those tights anymore because I don't know if you've heard Michael Cole.
Oh God.
Michael Cole with a very high-pitched voice says, "Pat Theo, look at the size of Brock."
This is the strangest call of the
Dude,
night.
I like Michael Cole, and I think he's probably one of the best commentators in the game.
Him and Pat have been so good together.
But Michael Cole, I think in certain situations and moments, should probably just didn't
Shut
say
up?
anything.
No.
Just shut up. Let the return. Let it marinate. If you're gonna say something, try to say something that doesn't sound like you're grasping for air or losing your voice.
That line sounded like something that Pat McAfee would say because it's silly and goofy.
See, I thought that
not
was
former war correspondent.
It's
Michael
what is wrong
Cole.
with his voice? That man needed water or something because it was the time on Dynamite when JR literally couldn't stop
Oh
coughing.
my
Remember that?
God.
And then there was also the time where JR's voice was just gone.
Dude, it was gone, and then just came back because he got some water. But
Yeah.
that was, dude. It's just.
Anyways, Brock came back. It appears Brock is being positioned as a babyface against heel Roman Reigns, head of the table, with Heyman likely playing a part in this story.
Heyman was apologizing to Brock, and I said to the guys, All I need is another segment, like
100% of Walrus.
100% of Walrus.
Greatest video ever. Just
Heyman
YouTube
on the
that.
ground, crying, begging for forgiveness. Is
Whoever's listening to this, go to YouTube.
I don't know if it's still up.
It might be. Just try to go to YouTube anyway and type in Paul Heyman is 100% a walrus, and you will never ever regret it.
I don't know how to spell walrus.
WALRUS.
What? Are you the animal guy?
Yep, there it is.
It's still there?
Oh, it doesn't look like it is.
Yeah, I figured. I'm pretty sure I looked for it a year or two ago.
Oh, that's a shame. You guys
Anyways,
missed out.
while Ryan's still looking for that, Joey, what would you rate this show, buddy? And favorite and least favorite matches for those who may have forgotten.
Okay. So favorite match would be Rollins and Edge. I think that was really great, honestly. I'd give that like 4 stars.
Okay.
I think it was really good. The least would still be
Eva?
Eva and Bliss, because Eva is just really bad.
Mhm.
Like, I don't even know why she's back. I don't know why they keep bringing her back.
No
This is
idea.
her second time back. And she doesn't seem like she's like getting any better in the ring. Like, she's literally.
Or on the mic. She is.
I feel like she doesn't
awful on
even
the mic.
care. Like, she just like is worried about her looks and her appearance and stuff. I feel like she doesn't really care about wrestling. And you know, Bliss. I think Bliss. I actually like Bliss. Like, I like Alexa Bliss. I've always been a fan of Alexa Bliss. But this character is just not it. She was just like thrown. I feel like she was like thrown this character from Bray, because Bray was obviously, you know, getting his release and stuff. And it's just like, here you go, we need someone with this character, because like, oh, it was so over. But that was the thing. Bray's character was over, but Alexa isn't gonna. She's not getting the same reaction. You know what I mean? Like, that's not how that works. Like, so I'd say that was the least. This is tough to rate the show, because there was, you know, I feel like there was some very questionable things in the show, and like, this was not one of the best SummerSlams I've ever seen at all. I would say it's pretty weak.
Give it whatever rating you feel is fair.
I'm just gonna go with a just thumbs in the middle.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give it a middle rating. Middle rating. That's what I'm gonna give it.
Okay. Ryan, I'm asking you the same thing. Give me your favorite, least favorite match and your rating for the show.
My favorite match was Edge versus Rollins. I kind of spelled that out already. Least favorite was Goldberg versus Lashley. Although I felt that parts of it were very comedic with how bad.
Yeah, but that's not what they were going for.
Right.
Right. But that helped me personally, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh at Alexa Bliss and Eva's match.
And I'm going to give this a thumbs in the middle, because I like where the titles are going at this point, if that makes sense, minus the Raw Women's Championship. Like, the SmackDown titles, that's fine with the Usos, because, again, I didn't realize that the Street Profits were on SmackDown, so that's a fine match. Roman and Brock, really excited for that, because they have really good matches together for the most part.
I'm going to cut you off real quick. Are you still excited at the prospect of Roman and Brock when you think about the fact that this is 100% going to happen in Saudi Arabia for a show you probably won't watch? It's definitely not Mania at this point, because
Too far.
because this is August and they're setting it up now.
No
No.
way. Yeah, no way they're having to go that long.
Could it be Extreme Rules?
No. It's going to be Saudi Arabia.
It
Saudi
could.
Arabia.
I said
They need a money match.
they could do it
They
twice.
don't.
They could do a rematch.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
but
be
it's
shocked.
definitely going to be in Saudi Arabia.
The only
regardless.
issue I have with this is if Brock takes the title off of him. Like, I'm cool with babyface Brock. I think it's interesting. But I don't think Brock should be taking the title off of him.
No, I don't either.
But I'm worried it will.
Yeah.
But if they do it in Saudi Arabia, I think Brock won't. I think it means Brock's only back for a short time.
That's fair.
So that's my hope. Anyway, sorry. I cut you off.
I'm the only. Yeah, I guess I should rephrase it from the Raw Women's title to both women's titles. Because, again, while we don't watch SmackDown, Bianca has had some pretty good matches from what we've seen. And this kills her momentum. And while you can say that it's a fresh matchup, did it need to go down like this? Like, it feels silly. And unfortunately, I don't see Becky dropping it back to Bianca, which means most likely we're going to get Becky versus Sasha if Sasha gets healthy. Or we're going to get Becky versus the heels of SmackDown, which are Zelina Vega, who hasn't won a match since returning, and Carmella, who's been in the title picture since after Mania and has lost every single time. So that kind of sucks. But for the most part, everything else, like the title pictures look good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for what Damian Priest can do if this straightens out his character. Bobby continues to look like a monster. Yeah.
Yeah. Bobby Schmurder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Joey, you were giggling. What are you giggling about over there?
No, it was just a tweet I saw. It's just a video. It's funny.
You don't want to share it with the class?
Nah, it's fine. Sorry.
Okay.
Excuse my giggling.
Okay.
Yeah, only Pat's allowed to giggle on here.
Yeah, when I see John Cena NFTs. All right, I guess
$1,000.
Yeah. All right, I'll wrap this up. My thoughts on this show, I'm going to be honest with it. Is 10 matches or 11? Well, I didn't watch the 11th, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I'll take that off. So 10 matches for me. I actively enjoyed 3 of them. That's not even half the show. I'm giving it a thumbs down.
But Pat, look at the size of them.
No. Coming out of this show, I'm not even excited for Raw, which you're coming out of a pay-per-view, you're supposed to be excited for the TV you're going to watch. I'm not. Where does Lashley go from here? And if it's a Goldberg rematch, I don't want that. Damian Priest's challengers are probably going to be The Miz and John Morrison at this point, or a rematch with Sheamus. Sheamus, sure. Miz and Morrison, absolutely the fuck not. The Raw tag titles, we're going to get a rematch probably with RK Bro and AJ and Omos. I don't need that because I don't really care for Omos. And as I said before, I don't really care for Charlotte as champion. On SmackDown side, Becky's champ, so that breathes some life into that division. Brock's back, so that's some big news. Their tag division's still pretty empty. And it just made, like, these... WWE had 2 big guns to pull out tonight. Mm-hmm. Not even tonight, for the rest of the year. And they were both Becky and Brock. And they shot them both in the same night. Where do you... if ratings go down, if the show quality drops, what's your next move? They don't have any secret, weapons ready. If you do an NXT invasion again, nobody's going to care because you've released a bunch of NXT talent and NXT gets treated like a joke by main roster as shown by Karrion Kross champion. I can't find myself actively excited for this product. I'm like...
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
just coming out of this show, this was a deflating show for me outside of a few matches. And I just feel like the company doesn't have anything going right now that I really care about. Whereas you look at something like AEW. AEW just brought in CM Punk in one of the greatest moments I've ever seen in wrestling. They're likely having Brian Danielson come in. There's the possibilities of Bray Wyatt, Buddy Murphy, and Adam Cole all coming in as well. Those are all huge gets for the company. You look at somebody like Impact. Impact has Bound for Glory coming up, and they're actively promoting it as a cross-promotional show for not only Impact, but Impact, New Japan, AEW, and AAA.
Yeah, that'll be big.
That's huge. You look at New Japan. New Japan just had that Resurgence show, and New Japan Strong looks like a must-watch TV show moving forward. All of these companies are managing to put on good quality content and get people excited for their TV. WWE continually fails to do so.
No offense.
WWE has put themselves into that situation because they refuse to get into bed with any other company. I mean, I feel like if they would just swallow, I don't know what it is. They want to protect their assets, whatever. But if they just swallowed their pride and wanted to work with another brand, another company, I feel like other promotions would be heavily open to work with WWE and work with their talent, have their talent on their shows, but they just don't do it. They just think that they're the end all of wrestling. That's where it stops. That's what it is. I don't know. It's just the elitist vibe don't know. It might hurt them. Like it's just it's hurting them this far. Like I don't know. I mean, they're always gonna be there. WWE's always gonna be there. They've been there for like 40-something years. They're always gonna have an audience because they attract a certain kind of fan. You know, some fans, and they have loyal. They have like diehard fans and people that will literally go to bat for them. But you'd think they would want to like adjust and like make something like a smart business move and work with another company. Like why can't wrestling coexist? Like these partnerships like AEW and Impact and ROH, New Japan with like Impact and all these, it proves that they can coexist. Like
Yeah, I mean, the very clear sign of that this would never work is just look at what they did with NXT UK. It killed off the United Kingdom's like wrestling scene for the independents outside of a few promotions.
Yeah,
And
who talks about NXT UK anyway?
Nobody
Dude,
really.
What's going on there? Like
the vast majority of WWE fans do not care.
I'm
about
surprised
NXT
they haven't
UK.
released any like NXT UK talent in masses.
Trust me, I agree.
They keep on adding.
Yeah, which is very strange.
Like, dude, what's going on with Walter?
He's back on NXT regular.
He's on regular NXT now.
Tomorrow it's him versus Ilya Dragunov again
Yeah.
for the title.
Okay.
So, which apparently their first match this year.
Whoa. Okay, we're now sitting in darkness, everybody. We just lost power, but we're on a laptop. I can't tell if my laptop's still recording or not. It looks like it's kind of skitzing out. Okay, power's back on. This is fun.
Nice.
It looks like it's still recording, so I think we're okay. If not, oh well. But it appears we're still good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. WWE's just at a point for me where I do not care, and it's not like I'm just shitting on the product and not watching. We're watching every week. It's just
You guys will be.
Yeah, me and Joey are watching every week, and I'm just not here for it.
Yeah.
The show's just not good, and the show did nothing to get me excited to watch Raw on Monday, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to not watching Raw anymore.
Yeah, I would assume so.
You get 3 hours of your life back, and you're not watching a shitty fucking
dude,
show.
One less person. Maybe you can come to an agreement. And give it
That's true.
Then we can be done with
someday.
this.
I mean,
But I don't know if we will.
I'll point it if I get cable up there and like I get it,
Oh, no.
I'll call in occasionally.
Okay.
Oh, no.
We'll take calls on the show.
Well, not like call in, but like we can. You
No,
can
no,
invite
we'll
me.
do calls.
Oh, God,
we'll
you don't
take
want
calls in
that.
from the listeners.
You don't want that, but like if it depends on how things look.
That's fine.
Um,
Anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up here. It's been an hour and a half, so thank you for joining us for this wonderful edition of the Deep Six Wrestling Podcast. Be sure to subscribe if you made it all the way to the end. Join us for Raw on Monday, AEW on Wednesday, Ryan and Angela's Impact Power Hour on Thursday, and whenever we cover New Japan again. So until next time, thanks for listening. Have a good weekend, or a good Sunday, and have a good week coming up. We'll talk to you guys next time. Adios.
Bye.